When food is not a big problem in your mind, when food is not a big contradiction or conflict in your mind, you are having so much of problem with the relationship, with your regular life. Why? You believe that is more deep-rooted than the food. You believe that takes away more energy than the food. In your inner space, somehow you are made to believe, conditioned by society, this is right, this is wrong. This should be given too much of importance, this should not be given importance. It is the social conditioning. You are made to believe something is right, something is wrong. Let me be very clear. I am not saying whatever you do is right. I am not giving you license. Go and do whatever you want. No. But I am saying your belief about right and wrong is wrong. Your ideas about right and wrong is what creates, what makes you to do right and wrong. Let me be very clear about one more thing. The more you try to do something, you will not be able to do. The more you try to avoid something, you will be constantly doing it. There are three ways to do something. First, do it by yourself or hire somebody to do. Third thing, tell your kids not to do. That's all. The thing will be done. There are three ways to do something. One, you can do it by yourself, or hire somebody to do it for you, or just tell your kids not to do that. That's all. Same way, your mind also, the moment you say, don't do this, you will see that you will be doing that. Anything, when you create conflict, when you create dilemma, you will be constantly failing in that effort. I always tell people, let you completely come out of the mind, suddenly you will see a beautiful morality flowering in you. Suddenly you will see, you will not feel like hurting anybody. Whatever morality is taught to you from the young age, you will see that all those things happening in you. Morality should happen in you. If you try to force it on you, you will only creating more and more problem for you. If you integrate your being, if you understand that you are constantly renouncing your thoughts, the moment you understand, constantly you are renouncing, you are not caught as you think in greed or fear or guilt. The moment you have some fear, be very clear, you are liberated from greed. The moment you are caught by greed, be very clear, you are liberated from fear. The moment you are having guilt, enjoy, you are liberated from greed and fear. Constantly you are liberated. Instead of seeing from the angle, you are constantly liberated. You are seeing from the angle, constantly you are bound. That is the only difference. Constantly you are getting liberated. The moment, for example, first you had a thought to drink. After drinking, you are having the thought of guilt. After the guilt, you are having the thought of fear. Constantly, the thoughts are changing. If you look from outside, you will say, I am continuously suffering because of my greed, fear and guilt. Then your whole life will be suffering. If you see from the other side, constantly you are renouncing your fears, you are renouncing your guilt, you are renouncing your desire. Unless you renounce your first thought, next thought will not happen. Unless you renounce the next thought, the third thought will not happen. Let it be very clear. You are constantly liberated. Constantly, the thoughts are moving out of your inner space. Your inner space is getting purified. If you put your eye from the outside and constantly think that you are under bondage, you are suffering. You are suffering with your fear, greed and desires. You are having small letter I. You are having ego. If you look at from the other angle, and if you feel constantly you are renouncing, your inner space is renouncing. Suddenly the fear came. The moment guilt came, the fear has disappeared. The moment greed came, the guilt has disappeared. The moment next thought has come, this has disappeared. If you celebrate your liberation, if you celebrate the very nature of your renouncing, you will have the capital letter I, the self-consciousness. Then what you have is Atman. If you are constantly suffering about your mind, you are having ego. If you are constantly celebrating about your mind, what you are having is enlightenment. That's all. Let it be very clear, you cannot change your mind. If you tried your best to change your mind, then you will understand the truth behind my words. If you have not tried, try your best, then you will understand you can't change. If you are already intelligent enough, you have tried enough, you will understand the truth behind my words. If you have not tried, you will not be satisfied by my word. You will think, no. He is too young, he doesn't know. I think I should try to control my mind. I should try to suppress my mind. I should try to purify my mind. People always think it is possible. Let it be very clear. It is your ego which makes you believe that you can control your mind. You cannot control your mind. You can only create a distance between you and your mind. When you are a little away from your mind, suddenly you will see new kind of integrity or beautiful morality happening around you. By your very nature, you will not disturb anybody. By your very nature, you will live a moral life. By your very nature, you will be giving. As on now, our morality is based on fear, greed or guilt. Your morality is based on fear, greed or guilt. But when you realize that by your very nature you are a liberated being, you will have a new morality which is based on love, compassion and gratitude. Morality based on fear, greed and guilt is only skin deep. Whenever you get a time, you get a chance, you will try to go beyond. That is why, if you know for sure there is no watching camera, you will try to jump the road signal. When you know there is nobody watching, you will always try to increase the speed little bit. Morality, which is skin deep, can neither help you nor help the society. When you are completely integrated, when you understand by your very nature you are unclutched, by your very nature you are liberated, by your very nature your inner space is getting purified itself. Your inner space has got quality to purify itself. That's the reason the moment next thought comes, the earlier thought disappears. You are like a pure sky, pure space. You can understand this one example of water bubbles coming in a fish tank. You can see continuously water bubbles coming. Because they are continuously coming, you think they are linked to each other. But they are not linked to each other. They are completely independent. Separate water bubbles. Because there is no gap, you think they are connected to each other. Just like that, your mind, every thought is completely independent, completely illogical, completely unconnected, and you cannot do anything about it. If you understand this one truth and relax from your mind, suddenly you will see a new integrity, new way of thinking, new way of living starts happening in you. You will see purity happening in you. You will see bliss happening in you. You will see compassion happening in you. You will see clearly you have become such a beautiful human being. You are living in heaven. You will be radiating bliss. Be very clear. You don't commit sin and go to hell. You commit sins because you are in hell. You don't commit sins and go to hell. You commit sins because you are in hell. Person who is in joy, in ecstasy, will never commit any sin. You can see in your life. If you are utterly relaxed, joyful, ecstatic, even if your servant does some mistake, you will not bother. All right, forget about it. Leave it. Even if she drops a glass, even if she breaks something, you will say, leave it. It's okay. Let's buy a new one. But if you are in your regular mood, constant irritation, if you are in your regular mood of constant irritation, there is no need for servant to do any mistake. Even if she comes in front of you, you will just jump on her. You will try to fire. You will try to vomit your irritation. Be very clear. Never think you commit sins and go to hell. You commit sins because you are in hell. Same way, you don't do some good things and go to heaven. You do good things because you are in heaven. The very mood which makes you to do good things or bad things is what is hell or heaven. Hell and heaven are not geographical, they are psychological. If you are completely integrated, if you are in ecstasy, if you are in bliss, you will be constantly doing good things and you will be exhibiting the ultimate morality in your life. You will be radiating morality in your life. You will be radiating joy in your life. If you are trying constantly to be moral, if you are constantly trying to fight with yourself without understanding the truth of your mind, even if you are successful creating morality, it will be only skin deep. As I was telling you, the 90-year-old monks making a statement, I don't know when we will be successful, but till 90 you suffer. Let it be very clear. Suppressing or trying to purify doesn't work. When you try to suppress, you exclude, you are choosing. You rubber stamp something as material life and something as spiritual life. Then you already created hell for you. When you do not choose, when you understand, by your very nature you are renouncing. By your very nature you are renouncing. By your very nature you are moving. First thing, do not be afraid of your greed, fear or guilt. They are not so superior. They are not so worthy. There is no need to be afraid of them. Because every moment they are leaving you by themselves. Just one thought to drink a cup of coffee is enough to renounce any big greed, to renounce any big fear, to renounce any big guilt in you. The moment you have the thought, you have a cup of tea, you already renounced the greed, you already renounced the fear, already the guilt has disappeared. Unless that moves, this thought cannot come. The moment this thought has come, already the thought of greed has moved out. Your inner space is pure. The problem is, you are not ready to believe. The liberation is so simple. The truth is so simple. You wanted complicated things. If I teach you, no, you have to sit 10 hours per day and repeat some mantra, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna, something. Or if I tell you, sit straight and close your eyes and hold your nose and turn it as much as possible. If I torture you, you are very happy. And you think, yes, this Swami knows something. And he is really teaching us a great thing. But if I give you a simple truth, I have always seen, whenever I tell people, by your very nature, you are renouncing. Somebody came and asked me, Swamiji, I have too much of greed and fantasies, how to renounce? I asked him, the moment you decide to ask me, do you have that thought? He said, when I was trying to ask you, there was no fantasy, Swamiji. Means already you renounced. The moment you decided to ask me the question, the fantasies are disappearing in your inner space. Why are you bringing them back? The moment you decided to come inside, you renounce the thought of standing outside. The moment you decide to sit, you renounce the thought of standing. Means constantly your thoughts are disappearing. But you are not ready to believe that they are disappearing. You bring them back. You bring them back and give them life. People ask me, no, Swamiji, unconsciously they are there, that is why they come up again and again. Subconsciously they are there in some corner, that is why they are coming up again and again. Be very clear. The idea of subconscious and unconscious, all these things are complete bogus concepts, complete cheating, completely they are the concepts inserted in your mind to exploit you, that's all. The so-called religious people constantly create a guilt in you that you are a sinner. The moment you have a guilt, easily they can exploit you. Same way, the people who are trying to help you in the mental level, the so-called psychotherapists, psychoanalysts, the psychologists, they created a concept that you have unconscious, you have subconscious, you have all these, that conscious level, and you need to purify that, you need to purify this, you need to purify that, you need to clear this. They created all this guilt in you. One important thing, unless you believe you have disease, you will not pay for the doctor. Unless you believe you have some mental difficulties, you will not pay for psychiatrists. Let it be very clear, it's a pure business. The concept of sin is created and taught to you so that you will have guilt and you will be obedient to the so-called religious people. Same way, the concept of unconscious and subconscious is taught to you so that you will be completely obedient to the so-called psychiatrists and psychoanalysts and psychotherapists. Let it be very clear, the guilt, the moment some guilt is created in you, you are ready to be exploited. People who are in that business, they constantly promote guilt. If you understand the truth, this moment you will be liberated. You can be liberated. There is no subconscious, there is no unconscious, there is no sub-unconscious. Let it be very clear, all these things are purely your faith. Understand this one statement. all negativity, your subconscious, your sin, your hell, idea of ghost, idea of wrong thought, idea of immorality, all negativity has got only one power, your faith on it, that's all. All negativity, if you think you are too much unconscious, you are too much of subconsciousness, you are not aware of what is happening, whatever negativity you think you have has got only one power, your faith on it, that's all. The more you believe that you are subconscious, more problems of subconscious will be happening in you. The more you believe you are unconscious, the more problems related to unconscious will be happening in you. It is your faith creates solution or problems in you. Whatever you nurture in your inner space will become reality. If you understand, by your very nature, you are announcing, you are unclutched. By your very nature, you are liberated. You will live a liberated life. Your life will become celebration. If you constantly believe you have unconscious, you have to clear it. You have subconscious, you have to clear it. You are having too much of immorality, you have to clear it. You are having too much of sins, you have to remove it. You have too much of load of karmas, you have to remove it. You will be constantly creating troubles from all these thoughts. Let me be very clear. Sin, karma, destiny, unconscious, subconscious, fate, evil, all these concepts are pure concepts created and inserted into your inner space to exploit you. Person who wants to exploit you in the level of astrology, he creates the concept of destiny. Once you start believing destiny, you will always be behind him. The person who wants to exploit in a religious level, he creates the concept of sin and karma. The moment you start believing sin and karma, you will be always behind him to do some merit, to find out some ways to escape from karma, to find out some shortcut from the sins. The same way, the person who is in the field of psychology and psychotherapy or psychoanalysis, these guys, they promote the concept of unconscious, subconscious. The moment you start believing unconscious and subconscious, you will always be behind psychoanalysts. Be very clear. Whoever wanted their business to be successful, they created that type of concepts and inserted into your head so that constantly they can exploit you. Now it is time to understand the nature of your mind and liberate yourself from all the so-called problems of your life. All your problems are purely so-called. All your problems, when I say all, I mean capital letter A-L-L. I mean capital letter A-L-L. All your problems are purely because you started believing these concepts. Concept of karma, concept of astrology, concept of destiny, concept of sin, concept of merit, concept of punya, concept of papa, or the modern days concept of subconscious and unconscious. Let you be very clear, these concepts only create more and more complications. But your mind is such, you are ready to believe complicated theories. You are ready to believe complications. If somebody gives you more and more words, more and more theories, you are very happy. You are very happy and you think, oh, I learned so much. And he really knows. When somebody says, things are very simple, don't worry, liberate yourself, It is pure, simple thing. You are not ready to believe. You say, no, I think he doesn't know much. Somebody came to me and he said, Swamiji, I have this problem. Can you give me some mantra or some ritual? Can you prescribe some solution? I said, the moment you decided to talk to me, you renounced your problem. The moment you decided to sit here, the moment you got the thought that I should sit here, the problem is disappeared from your mind. Why are you bringing it again and again? Do not believe you are a continuous being. Do not believe you have continuous mind. Your mind is not a connected chain. The moment you start believing your mind is a connected chain, you created a major problem. The moment you believe your mind is a clutched shaft, you have created a problem. By your very nature, you are unclutched. The shaft in you is unclutched. The moment you start believing you are clutched, you connect all your sufferings and you say your life is suffering. The pain which happened in your life 10 years ago, the pain which happened 9 years ago, the pain which happened 2 years ago, they are completely independent individual incidents. When you connect all of them and see, you start seeing your whole life is a pain. The moment you decide your whole life is a pain, you try to break the pain. You try to disconnect yourself from the pain. You try to control the pain. Or sometimes you connect all the blissful, joyful incidents and you create a shaft. Your life is joy. The moment you start believing your life is a joy, you try to extend that shaft. The moment you try to believe your life is pain, you try to break that shaft. You can neither break the shaft nor extend the shaft because that shaft doesn't exist. The shaft doesn't exist. The joy which you experienced 10 years ago, the joy which you experienced 9 years ago, the joy which you are experiencing 2 years ago, which you experienced 2 years ago, they are completely independent, unconnected incidents. They are no way connected to each other. Mentally you try to connect them and create a shaft. Same way, the pain which you experienced 10 years ago, the pain which you experienced 9 years ago, the pain which you experienced 2 years ago, they are completely independent incidents. When you mentally start connecting them, you will see shaft of pain. The moment you start imagining the shaft of pain, you will try to break it. Neither breaking nor extending is possible because the shaft doesn't exist. It is your mind which connects and creates an idea about your life. The moment you start connecting and creating an idea, you created hell for you. You created hell for you. By your very nature, you are unclutched. By your very nature, you are independent. By your very nature, you are liberated. The big problem is, once you take some sweet and feel the joy, immediately you associate the joy with the sweet. Second time, if you want that joy, you try to do the same act. But after 2-3 times, suddenly you realize the same act does not bring the same excitement. First time when you had a sweet, the excitement which you had is not again and again happening whenever you are having the sweet. Even after this experience, Your mind is not intelligent enough to understand that the outside action and inside excitement are not directly linked. They are unclutched. They are unconnected. When you are not ready to believe that, you try to force yourself and try to see the same taste in that sweet. Sometimes you understand, no, it is not same. But you are not ready to believe, because if that is also not tasty, what else I can do? You are afraid of that void. You wanted something to be joyful. So even if it is not joyful, let me imagine. Let me believe. Let me force my joy on it. And try to experience it is joyful. You are not ready to believe the truth. You just close your eyes and try to believe it is joyful, it is joyful. No, it is joyful. It is joyful. It's like a dog trying to bite a dry bone. After biting so many times, the bone has poked the mouth of the dog. From its own mouth, the blood is coming. After a few minutes, the dog has started believing the blood is coming from the dry bone. It is enjoying the blood from its own mouth, but it is believing the blood is from the bone. Same way, you force yourself and you try to believe that joy is from that object, and you do not want to understand the truth. They are completely unclutched. The outer object and the inside excitement, they are unclutched. Let you understand the joy which you experienced 10 years ago, the joy which you experienced 9 years ago, the joy which you experienced yesterday, they are individual, independent incidents. Same day, the pain which you experienced 10 years ago, the pain which you experienced 5 years ago, the pain which you experienced yesterday, all of them are completely independent, unconnected and illogical incidents. They have no connection. They have no connection. They are completely independent. But you are afraid to understand this truth, because the moment you understand the life and incidents are completely independent, you are afraid that based on what I can live, what is the basis of my life, what can be the basis for my life, the fear becomes too much. The fear is too much. The very bottom on which you are standing, I am taking that bottom. The very root is shaken because of that fear, because of that insecurity. You hold on to your same dull old mind. You do not want to let go the mind. You are not ready to let go the mind. Let it be very clear, there is no need for your mind for you to exist. For you to exist, there is no need for mind. There is no need for dilemmas. There is no need for worry. There is no need for fear. You can exist without dilemmas. You can exist without fears. You can exist without worries. You can exist without your mind. You can exist in an unclutched way. The moment you start living in an unclutched way, you are liberated. You are Jivan Mukta. That is what the song of the Shankaracharya, the Nirvana Shatka says, I am not the body, I am not the mind. Because constantly you are unclutched. You are completely unclutched. Even though you believe you are clutched, you are unclutched. Even if you don't believe that you are unclutched, you are unclutched. When you try to connect, one more small story. One born blind man went to the doctor. Was asking the doctor, "Doctor, can you do a operation or can you help me to have my eyes?" Doctor said, "Surely, I'll do an operation. You can have your eyes back. Then you will be able to walk without that stick." Usually the blind people use a stick to walk, to feel the things in the ground. Blind man suddenly asked, "Doctor, I understand you will do an operation. I understand I will be able to walk. I'll have my eyes. But I am not able to understand. How can I walk without stick?" You can't intellectually answer, convince the blind man he can walk without stick. Only after he gets his eyes back, only when he is able to see, he will understand he can walk without stick. Till then, you can't convince him he can walk without stick. Same way, only when you understand, courageous enough to drop the mind, you will understand you can live without mind. You can live without mind. There is no need to choose between material life and spiritual life. Choosing means mind. Choice means mind. Choicelessness is mindlessness. You can live without mind. You can live in a mindless state. You can live with a pure energy. Of course, mind is not ready to believe, because first thing is, mind convinces you that existence of mind is necessary for you to survive. Otherwise, you will not be a slave of the mind. First thing. Let me tell you one more example. You can see even in your profession, if some of your servants convince you for your business or in your life, his existence is necessary. Without him, you can't run your show. He will exploit you constantly with that one faith. If you start believing without this servant or assistant, you can't run your office or your life, you will see that he will be exploiting you. First thing, he will make you believe, he will convince you, without him you can't run the show. Then he will exploit your whole life. Same way, your mind first convinces you, without it you cannot survive. Then it will be constantly exploiting you. It will be constantly exploiting you. Same way, your mind convinces you first, you can't live without mind. Then it completely exploits you. It keeps you a slave. Let me give you one more example. In India, in the forest, in North Indian forests, they will have a net to catch birds. How they catch birds? Let me show you a small example. There will be a small they will just hang like this one small stick with a thread on a tree. This thread will be there. Small stick will be hanging. When a parrot comes and sits this side, suddenly the whole thing will turn topsy-turvy because of the weight. Because of the weight of the parrot, just the whole thing will turn. The moment the stick turns, the parrot will be hanging upside down. The parrot will be hanging upside down. The poor parrot doesn't understand. He is hanging upside down. If he leaves the hand, he can just fly. He will be afraid. He thinks that if he leaves the hand, he will fall and die. He will be completely hanging. He will be hanging for hours together. Slowly the hunter will come. After 2-3 hours, he will just catch the parrot, put it in the bag. Understand how the foolish parrot thinks if he removes the hand, if he removes the leg, he will fall and die. He doesn't understand. If he leaves, what will happen? He can just fly. If he leaves, that moment he can just fly. But he thinks, logically what he thinks? If he leaves, he will fall and die. Logically what he is thinking is right. But existentially, is it right? No. Logically, he is hanging. He is completely hanging, topsy-turvy. So naturally, what he thinks, if I leave the hand, if I leave the leg, what will happen? I may fall and I will die. He is holding on. He is completely trying to hold because of his insecurity feeling. He doesn't understand if he leaves, if he opens, if he relaxes, he can just fly. Same way, how the parrot is hanging in a foolish way, we are also hanging to the mind. The moment you let go, you can just fly. You can become Paramahamsa. You can just fly. You are liberated being. How the parrot is behaving in a foolish way, just out of insecurity, trying to hold and creates more and more suffering. You are also trying to hold on to the mind and create more and more suffering. Just let go. You will be able to fly. You can start flying. By your very nature, you are liberated being. Just like the parrot, you are creating bondage for yourself. You are creating bondage for yourself. You don't need mind. There is no need for you to have mind. There is no need for mind for you to exist. Let you understand this one truth. This one message. Carry this single message with you. By your very nature, you are unclutched, liberated, independent being. If you can celebrate your state of unclutched or Jivan Mukta or the liberated being, you will live in the same state. If you believe you have unconscious, you have subconscious, you have this, you have that, constantly you will be choosing between material life and spiritual life. Any choice is choosing hell. Let it be very clear. Any choice, even if you choose bliss, you are choosing pain. All your decisions will lead only to more and more complications. Let you understand that by your very nature you are unclutched and let go. Do not be like that foolish parrot. We are all hanging just like the parrot with the mind. Understand you are hanging and let go. Be liberated. Just start flying. Let you all become Paramahamsa. Thank you.